This is Season 7 of the Team Roping Journal's podcast, The Score, the show that started it all in the whole podcasting game in team roping and rodeo. At 3 million downloads and counting, this is where team ropers talk, from our weekly short score episodes to the longer sit-down conversations that we get to have that dive deep into the personalities, producers, and horses that inspire the sport. This is where team ropers get their must-know information. Hey everyone, this is Chelsea Schaefer. Welcome back to The Score. I have a series for you that I think is just perfect for this time of year. Maybe that's kind of dark or ominous for me to say, but this is a series on burning out or slowing down, or I don't want to use the R word, retirement from professional rodeo, but this is a series on, how you all or how some of the best guys in the world have made the very difficult decision to step away from the rodeo trail. Of course, I am starting this out with Jade Corkill, who is one of the most recent GOATs of the sport to slow down. And Jade's going to talk about where he is in his career and what made him make the choice to slow down, to wind down his career a little bit while his kids are young and while he can really enjoy what is happening at home. So we have got this episode with Jade Corkill. Next week, I've got Martin Lucero, who was, at a different point in his career when he slowed down, and he actually slowed down twice. So very exciting to talk to these guys, and we will have more throughout the summer because this is going with a feature story that I wrote for our August issue. I'm just recording all of these interviews that I did for the magazine, so you can listen to it and enjoy, especially for those guys who are out there grinding it out, maybe over the 4th of July run, maybe headed to Reno, maybe you're amateur rodeoing and you're tired. Maybe you're amateur rodeoing and you need a little bit of a sense of appreciation for what's coming next, for the future, anything to kind of help you embrace what is coming up, or whether that is slowing down in rodeo or whether that is gearing up and just starting your career. It is awesome to hear from these GOATs who have a very unique perspective on the sport. So here's Jade Corkill. Today's episode is presented by Resistol. Resistol is the official hat of the PRCA, the World Series of Team Roping, the USTRC, and numerous other Western sports events and organizations. Resistol, we live it every day. Visit resistol.com to find your favorite hat or locate a retailer near you.
I guess basically, to put it short, I wasn't willing to do the stuff I had to do anymore to the people I had to do it to make it how I wanted to do it. You know what I mean? Like to rodeo how I would want to rodeo. I just wasn't willing to make the sacrifices anymore to do it. And if I'm not going to do that, then I'm not going to rodeo. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. What do those sacrifices look like? Like, what are the sacrifices that you're talking about?
Just the time of the day of, it's just all about you. Everything's about you. You got to rope. The whole world revolves around you making the NFR. You know what I mean? And which, when your kids are little and stuff, it's not as big a deal. But then now, my kids are old enough that they're doing their own stuff, and that time you can't get it back. You know what I mean? So I just thought too, I was kind of young enough to where if I wanted to do it again, I could just do it after that's all done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't want to wait until that point in my life and want to be done, and then my kids are 18 and they're not home either. So. Yeah.
How much did being in between horses contribute to the decision too? Like, would you say you were in between great horses?
Not really. I mean, I still had my gray's still good, and my yellow's really good. Two's enough. I've had more than two in the past, and then there's been times I've had one. You know what I mean? That I felt like, or whether it was soundness or for whatever reason, might have only had one for a little while. And I had people offer need a rope and would buy me a horse, would do whatever. And, it wasn't anything like didn't have a horse or didn't want to find a horse. It just was, I didn't do that stuff because I wasn't going to, there's no reason to find another horse, so I'm not going to go. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And this might sound stupid too, but I always kind of had in my head, I didn't want the game to retire me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, I physically still feel good. I feel like if I wanted to do it, I feel like I can still do it. And I kind of wanted just to go out like that a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not for any reason to what anybody cared about or what anybody else thought, just kind of for myself. I don't want to feel like I went out because I'm just trying to hang on and can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you still have anything on your bucket list that you didn't win that you'd like to?
I'd like to win the BFI.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't really bother me as much as people talk about or think it does, but it's just the fact that it's a really good jackpot. It's the best jackpot. I want to win the best jackpot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I want to win when I go to a 13 slide just as much as I want to win when I go to the BFI. So
yeah,
it just, whether it's the BFI or any other big jackpot, you're pissed off when you don't do good when you leave there. You know what I mean? So
sure.
But I really don't. It's funny to me, like now. When you're a little kid, you grow up, you always like all these things mean something to you, but like that kind of stuff doesn't really mean anything to me anymore. Like being able to say I won this or being able to say I won that. You know what I mean? Like, it was all fun and it meant a lot when I'm doing it, but it doesn't. I think that keeps you going too a little bit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Is there anything that you miss?
I miss winning.
Yeah.
The driving. Yeah, it's kind of funny, honestly. Now, I told Zoe this the other day. I was like, what I'm doing right now makes rodeo not seem that bad. You know what I mean? Like, out here working my ass off every day. But I do like the routine. And like this year, Kelton played soccer this year. Didn't miss one game. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Didn't have any risk of missing one game.
Mm-hmm.
I missed one I went to San Diego, I guess. I missed one of Colby's junior high rodeos, but made it to every other one. You know what I mean? Nothing. Mm-hmm. And went to San Diego because I knew I was going to get to go to every one of them. I wasn't like, oh man, I'm going to miss a bunch of these. Can't go. Like I made it to every one of them. So.
Yeah. Well, and just thinking about this story though, I'm going to write like what people not retired, but stepped away for. And obviously the family is, but like what would you say your day job is right now?
I would say Isabella Quarter Horse's ranch manager.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. So, and you guys have how many, like what, describe the Isabella Quarter Horse's operation too?
Well, it's just mainly just breeding. Like Zoe was already deep into it. I just was a walk-on, I guess you could call me. But she breeds, just barrel horses. But she's got a lot of good mares and has a reputation for having a lot of, like high dollar selling colts at these sales and stuff. And it's been fun too, though, because I'm like, it's something new, something I'm learning about.
You left team roping for the barrel horse business. Who knew?
Yeah, I mean, do that. Yeah.
I wouldn't have seen that coming 5 years ago, but I'm really happy for you.
But I've always kind of said that even when I was younger, like I didn't want to, because like you see a bunch of old guys like did the finals of Arizona and talking to them, and they did this for 20 years, they did that for 15 years, and this for 30 years, and like I was thinking to myself when I was younger all the time, I'm like, I don't want to be the guy somebody talks to and like, well, what's your story? Like, I just rodeoed. Mm-hmm. I don't know anything else. If you don't talk about rodeo, I can talk to you. If you don't, I can't talk to you. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to.
Yeah.
Because I think rodeo too is. I mean, I'm sure it's the same with everything. That's why I want to keep it fresh and keep it. I mean, you got to want to get up and do what you're doing every day, and if I got to be honest, like rodeo and just kind of got not that way for me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I think winning it has a lot to do with it. If that, I mean, I don't know if that sounds bad. I don't know if to put that, but it got to. I mean, if I'm in a rodeo, I want to win the world. That's the only reason I'm doing it, other than making a living. And if you've won it, there's certain times where it's like, I don't know if I want to do that this time. You know what the reward is for the risk, and it's like,
yeah,
I don't know. It was worth it to me when I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like when I bought Jackal before, I would never pay $60,000 for a 20-something-year-old horse today.
Yeah.
You couldn't make me do it.
With
and I did
feet
it.
that
I
were
wanted
like
to do
6
it then,
inches
'cause I
long.
knew-
Yeah.
I was like, this is my ticket. If I get this horse, I'm going to win this. And so I didn't even question it. It was like, at that time, it was stupid of me not to do it, is what it seemed like.
Yeah.
And now I would be like, what the hell are you even, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So like that, it's just kind of the wheel just keeps going, you get different. It's weird to me how much I'm the same guy, same life, but perspective and stuff like that has changed a lot on things that were completely different for me 10 years ago or 5 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I remember like how badly you wanted to win back to back to back to back, like 9 gold buckles. Like, and it was so dramatic.
If you're gonna win it, just keep winning it.
Yeah.
Don't stop now.
How much did the like partner, I don't want to say drama because that isn't the word I mean, but like the partner, like finding the best run possible, like how much was that exhausting or part of like the grind?
Honestly, for me, it wasn't. I didn't have that many partners. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I got extremely lucky in that department of I had great partners, and I roped with all of them for a while. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't like every year trying to find a new partner. I mean, I roped with the same guys for the last. Since 2013, I've had 3 partners.
Yeah. Yeah, so you didn't have that stress that some guys have, like especially when they get toward the end of their career and like trying to find the best run, and it's not just coming to them, sort of thing.
You have to have one of the best partners and I'm not saying like for young guys, obviously when they're starting out, like everybody works their way into the circle, but I guess like that's another thing that kind of changes around too, is like where I'm at in my life right now. I'm with one of those guys, or I don't want to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not like, oh, let's test this out and see how we do. Like I'm not interested in that really. You know what I mean? It's like, and I'm not saying like a good, like a Tyler Tryon, somebody like that. Like there's young guys out there that obviously are going to be great and are already good and crave it, that would be worth roping with. I mean, there's obviously exceptions, but I'm not just like, oh, I think this guy heads decent. Let's go try it out and see how we do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is there a bucket list header, like somebody that you didn't rodeo with that you would love to rodeo with?
I would have liked to rope with Luke. We always talked about it, and I've won as much with Luke as I've won with anybody. Like we second partnered for a long time, and it just seems like every time me and Luke rope together, we do good. Like that year we roped in California, we won
so much.
Everything. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like every time me and Luke have roped, just like this year we got to rope a court. We won. And Begay, I would have liked to rope with Begay. Me and Begay talked about it a couple times, and it kind of just never. Or like we roped at Reno in the BFI.
I was gonna say you roped at like one BFI together, and it didn't go well. Like he didn't have I think he had like a backup horse or something, right?
He rode. He had like a young horse.
Yeah, like his bay mare or something. Yeah. You guys would be the funnest team ever to interview. It would be my favorite. It would be so weird.
It would have been fun to.
But
it's hard. I mean, it doesn't just like that. Like, I mean, that's 11 or 10 years, and I had 3 partners. It's hard to get through, unless you just go through And I mean, like Trevor. I mean, it would have been fun to rope with Trevor, like back in the day, like or Rogers, Sinagini. Like, there's probably I could name a lot of guys, but like friendship, like guys that I'm friends with that I think I would have done good with would be like Luke and Big Gabe, probably. Like, would have been fun to rodeo with them.
Yeah. Today's episode is presented by Resistol. Resistol is the official hat of the PRCA, the World Series of Team Roping, the USTRC, and numerous other Western sports events and organizations. Since 1927, Resistol has supported as much as they can in the Western industry to ensure growth and a Western lifestyle for generations to come. Resistol, we live it every day. Visit resistol.com to find your favorite hat or locate a retailer near you.
But the other thing that's weird to me too is like, I wish honestly last year I had this when Clay quit. We had a terrible winter. When he told me he was done, I had in my head I was done too. Like I was just going to be done. And the only reason I didn't was because I got a chance to rope the snow. And then we have a terrible summer or whatever. We won 50-some thousand rodeo, and I won a little jackpot and gone all year, spent whatever I spent trying to do it. This year, I've won like 80,000 this year, and I've been to 5 places.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to spend anything to get it. You know what I mean? And now I'm still home. I'm not going anywhere. So basically I had a better year rodeoing this year than I did last year, and I rodeoed.
Well, that's an interesting point. I mean, the WCRA keeps posting like the ROI graphic, and you have done extremely well without spending any money in entry fees with them. Yeah.
I nominated Oklahoma City at the American deal when I roped with Caleb up there and Bubba. I nominated the Lone Star Shootout and the BFI. Was all I nominated.
And you won like what, 47 or 42,000? I forget what the graphic said.
49,000.
49. Yeah. That was awesome. That doesn't always happen. Like it's not like you quit rodeoing and win 80,000. Like
just. Right, but I'm just saying like there's. I guess the point I'm trying to make is like the reason I want to. It seems appealing to do what I'm doing right now because I still get to rope with those guys when I go places. And I still have a good horse, and it's not costing me anything to get it. Like if I hadn't won $1 this year, it still didn't cost me that much money to go to those places I went to. And I'm still going to make a living selling these horses. So it's not a big deal.
Yeah. So
basically it's like roping's like a bonus for me now. Like,
yeah.
Obviously, I still want to do good and I still want to win, but it's like, it's not the end of the world. And so I feel like it's almost made me rope better. Like, I don't, if that makes any sense. I mean, I feel like I still feel the same when I go somewhere, but I'm not like, my life depends on this. You know what I mean?
That's so good for your mental health, Jade.
Yeah, no, that's honestly, that's what I'm saying. Because every time I go somewhere, that's all everybody wants to talk to me about. Oh, you missed it yet? You entered, you'll be back. You have no idea how seriously I'm not going to be back. I don't care. I mean, I'm going to Reno to rope at the rope and didn't enter the rodeo. Don't care to enter the rodeo. You know what I mean? I said I wasn't buying my card, man. I'm not buying my cards. Doesn't mean to go to Reno. Like, I've been asked. I wish I should have just started writing names down. How many people I've been asked to go here, go there, go to this rodeo. Let's just go to these couple rodeos. And I could have been to 50 rodeos already if I wanted to. So it's like you're not rodeoing, but you're at your rodeo limit already.
Did you get into the winter rodeos and just didn't enter them?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's wild. Everybody gets like, well, I'm in the winter rodeos, so I'll go to them and see how it goes or whatever. That's usually the answer.
Yeah, well, I might as well. I'm gonna go here. Well, then, so you're rodeoing. So you're saying.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's okay. So that's why I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to do that, get a rodeo partner in rodeo.
Yeah.
You do I got into the rodeo. I'm going to so I'm going to open with this guy here. So you're rodeoing, but you're just half-ass rodeoing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're going to go here and go here, well, then get the best partner you can get and go.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what it seems like to me would be a no-brainer. Is not do I got in here, so I'm going to go with this guy. And now all of a sudden you've been to 10 rodeos with 7 partners and can't win anything. So what did you go for? And that's why I didn't do it. You know what I mean? It was like, what, I'm not going to, let's play Russian roulette and see what, and then if you do good, now you got 40,001 and you don't have a partner anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe still.
Is there anything that feels harder now that you haven't rodeoed? Like when you do go to try to compete, obviously you've won a ton, so this is probably not necessarily a question for you, but like, does just having that little edge to throw to be 3-3 feel fast or feel harder, or like the mental game or anything?
Honestly, it hasn't. I can say that truthfully because I can tell you 5 years ago when I didn't rodeo in 2018 and then came back in 19, I felt that way a little bit just from sitting out for a little while. But for whatever reason, this year I haven't. I feel like if it would have felt like that anywhere, it would have been the Kid Rock Rodeo, and it didn't feel like that to me there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think part of that is because I truly don't feel like I didn't feel like I don't belong, or like feel like, I haven't been going anywhere. I'm going to show these guys I can still do it. Like that kind of stuff doesn't even come into my mind. You know what I mean? I'm just there to do my job and go home. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like I'm still a head case, huh?
Yeah, but I feel like you honestly sound significantly better than you have in many conversations over the years. I mean, there were definite, like when you said you wanted to win the BFI, I was like, didn't you like slam your head through the trailer window or something, or like one time?
I punched my windshield out the year I missed the 5th one to be high call.
Yeah, I remember. I was there. I wasn't there for you punching the window out, but I sure was in Reno and heard all about it.
Yeah, I think I threw everything. And now looking back on it, like, that's stupid. I think it's stupid, but at the time it wasn't stupid.
No.
I was stupid at the time for not catching.
Yeah, I remember it well. So I'm glad that you are not at that point of your life, but.
Well, and that's the other reason and Zoe's and I have talked about this a lot, because I tried to do it last summer and I'm not good at it. I'm not good at the like leave it at the rodeo, Dad. You know what I mean? Like if I'm rodeoing, I'm in, and that's what I'm doing, and I can't do both at the same time. Like if I'm not happy, I'm not happy at home either. Like nothing's okay when it's not going. You know what I mean? Like, and I tried hard to rodeo doesn't go good. Like, I'm still happy when I talk on the phone. No, I'm not.
Yeah, and I feel like you've probably been doing it long enough to like have tried to change that about yourself pretty hard.
And I've gone both ways with it. Like I've thought like, you should be able to be man enough to handle both, but I think that's how you don't do good. I think if I wasn't the way I was, I wouldn't have done what I did. So, do I regret being that way? Absolutely not. I was there to kick ass, and that's it. Didn't care. I didn't care if you thought I was, oh boy, look at how that guy handled himself when he didn't do good. I don't give a what you think about that. Sorry to say that like that, but
I think it's interesting. Like I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna use all of this because it's really good, and it could probably be its like whole own article instead of. But
then I'm trying to get my kid to be that way. I don't think you shouldn't be if you don't do your job. I mean, there's so many ways it goes. Like obviously, I know you're not going to win every time. I already know that going in. Losing doesn't make me. If my header misses at the rodeo, yeah, I can come talk to you just like I was before the rodeo. It's And I know some things happen. I'm going to mess up, and it wasn't out of my control, or it was out of my control. I know it goes that way. It's when I didn't do something focus wise, didn't allow me to do my job. Now probably not a good time to talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't. I guess it's a little different than I was saying. It wasn't like, oh, I don't win at the rodeo, don't talk to me. There was one thing could happen for that to be that way. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think your head or misses at the rodeo and then you be a dick to everybody. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, that wasn't your MO. It was when you sucked that you were.
Yeah, I should have caught this deer and I'd let something happen that didn't. Mm-hmm. Oh, I mean, my job lasts for 5 seconds maybe total from when I can do anything about it to the end, mm-hmm. and I can't get it done. Yeah, that's not. There's 24 hours in a day and I got to focus for 5 seconds of it and I can't get it. Well, then we got a problem. I mean, seriously. You know what I mean? When you put it like that, what are you doing?
Yeah.
5 seconds out of 24 hours. I don't know how many seconds that is in 24 hours, but we only need you for 5 or less of them.
Ideally less, yeah.
Look straight ahead for those 5. That's not good. How can you call yourself good?
Can't wrap 6 inches of rope around a little horn and.
Yeah, you can't trust you to walk your kid across the street. That's more important than this, and you couldn't do this, so why am I going to let you walk my kid to the Dairy Queen? No. You're not going anywhere with my child. And for that matter, your own child. I don't trust you with your own child. I would get it. I understand. I wouldn't argue it.
I love it. I am glad that we still talk even though you're not rodeoing so that we can...
I wish you just put this all in there just how I said it.
I want to.
I don't care what you do with my stuff anymore. I never really did, but you can do whatever you want.
Oh, it sounds awesome. I love it.
Oh, you got me all fired up wanting to go somewhere.
I love it. Thank you, Jade.
Sounds good. Yep, see ya.
Okay, bye. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of The Score. Thank you to Jade for taking the time to be so honest about what's going on in your career right now. And in 2 weeks, listen for another episode with Martin Lucero on the same subject, on stepping back from rodeo and that very tough decision that comes to everybody one way or another.